What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'll be doing the top 10 most anticipated races, in my opinion, for the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series season. We'll go from 10 to first. Let's go and just jump straight into it. In the number 10 position, we have the NASCAR Cup Series race at Nashville Superspeedway. This race, in my opinion, got a lot of hate for the wrong reasons, and I know that this race was dominated by Kyle Larson, but at the same time, the racing as a whole in Nashville Superspeedway in 2021 for trucks, Xfinity, and Cup was extremely exciting for multi-group racing. And if you go back to older races at Nashville Superspeedway before 2021, the racing was kind of single group and you really couldn't do anything. But with the resin compound they added, it actually worked compared to PJ1. The resin compound actually worked at Nashville Superspeedway, and we got a much better race. Even though, like I said, Kyle Larson led like 263 or 264 laps at Nashville, the race I thought was very underrated and a very good race as a whole. You had drivers getting side by side, good racing, and I think that next year we could see a much better race, and I think the drivers getting more knowledge of the track also probably helped these guys really not know much about the track, except the guys that have had experience before in the past. But I thought this race was really exciting. I thought it was really entertaining, and I'm really looking forward to this race in 2022. And this sits number 10 on my list. In the number 9 position, I know this is going to be a little controversial, but in the number 9 position, we have the Daytona cutoff race, the race before the playoffs begin. This race has been really exciting. I was really skeptical when after 2019, after having the summer race in 2019 at Daytona, I was very skeptical of them moving it to be the cutoff race in 2020. But the last 2 years have delivered in really incredible racing, really awesome racing, and I really have enjoyed it. Of course, it does help that the super speed package the NASCAR has had for the last couple of years has been really good. But unlike the one time where they had the Brickyard as a cutoff race, this race actually is intriguing and very exciting. And you never know who's going to make the playoffs. You also didn't really know who's going to win the regular season championship until about halfway through the race to decide who won the regular season championship. So I'm real excited about this race. Again, I always enjoy Daytona cutoff race or race at Daytona in general. I know that we have a new car coming in 2022, but I'm looking forward to this race, and this is going to be the cutoff race in number 9. In the number 8 position, we have the Martinsville Fall Race, the second to last race in the season. The Martinsville Fall Race the last couple years have been outstanding. I will say 2020 was better by 2021, but not by much. But them moving this race to be in the last race before the final race of the season is really awesome. And it gives a lot of headlines and a lot of stories. You see tempers flaring, and you see drivers putting their heart and souls into this race. And it's a race that is very enjoyable. And not to mention the racing in Martinsville has always been extremely exciting, besides 2019 when they had that package, the 550 package, when they had all the higher spoilers at the short tracks. There really has not been any bad race at Martinsville other than those 2 races. But this is a race I'm always looking forward to. This race I'm extremely excited for, and I think we're going to see an excellent and exciting race at Martinsville the next time we go there. I think both races are going to be really good, especially the spring run, but the second to last race of the season at Martinsville is going to be a race that I'm really looking forward to, and I think the racing is going to be exciting. In the number 7 position, we have the Truck Series race at Indianapolis Raceway Park. This will be the first time the NASCAR is going back to Indianapolis Raceway Park since the 2011 season. They've had the ARCA Series there, I think, around since 2015 or 2016, but they stopped racing there in 2012 when they decided to move the Xfinity Series to Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the traditional Brickyard. But the Truck Series this year in 2022 is going to be moving into IRP, which is also going to be the beginning of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series playoffs, I believe on July the 29th, which is going to be the earliest that a NASCAR playoffs have started ever in NASCAR history. This race I'm really excited for. Number 1, I think the racing will be very good. We've seen the ARCA races. They've been extremely exciting over the last couple years. Number 2, this is a fan favorite track. And if you ask a lot of people, I think a lot of people would rather have the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series basically at IRP instead of running at traditional Indianapolis Motor Speedway, even though I think the Indy Road Course had good moments. It's just that unfortunately you had a curb situation where they could have honestly had no problems right there. But this race always seems to be really exciting. A race we haven't seen this race a little bit, don't get me wrong, but I'm really excited about this race. The Truck Series returning here I think it's gonna put on an extremely exciting and a really good show, and I'm really looking forward to this race going into next year. In the 6th position, we have the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Portland Raceway. This will be the first time that NASCAR is racing at Portland since the 2000 season, and this is also going to be, they're bringing back Portland. They brought IndyCar back to Portland, I think in 2017 or 2018, and I will say this about the racing at Portland, especially for IndyCar. It is extremely exciting. It is 105 laps, but the laps are extremely quick for IndyCar, so it's a race that really doesn't take over 2 hours, and you had a lot of good strategy and a lot of good racing too in the IndyCar series, and the NASCAR Xfinity series always seems, it doesn't matter what package they run, it seems like they always put on really good shows at road courses. Sometimes you get wreckfest at road courses in Xfinity, but not like the truck series. But I think the racing has been extremely exciting at road courses. You're going to have some good road course races next year. Guys like Justin Allgaier, AJ Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, among other drivers like Daniel Hemmerkoop, and probably a couple other drivers sprinkled in there who are probably going to be out there trying to contend overall for the victory in these road course races. But Portland is a race that I've been really excited about. And NASCAR is also going up to the Northwest as well, which is something that NASCAR said they kind of want to get up to that Northwest region. And if the Xfinity Series race ends up going really, really well, we might, and I'm just saying might, we might be able to have a NASCAR Cup Series race here in the next couple years up in the Northwest area, which they've been trying to branch up into different areas of the country, which is something I'm really excited about. But this race I'm looking forward to. I really like Portland Raceway. We haven't raced there in a long time, and I am really looking forward to the race at Portland. In the 5th position, we have the Bristol Dirt Race weekend as a whole. This I'm a lot more excited about than 2021. I'll say this. I was really, really skeptical when they announced that they were going to have a dirt race at Bristol. And I was a little bit frustrated that, unfortunately, this race could not happen on the traditional Sunday or the Saturday, but because of rain situations. And there was a lot of concern that they weren't even going to get the race in on Monday. But when the racing actually happened, I thought the racing was extremely exciting. Now, you did have visibility problems, but that's where this next year is going to come into play. This race next year is going to be on Easter Sunday evening. So it's going to be a race at night, which is a major, major positive because it's not going to be an issue of dust. The big question is, does rain affect the weekend? That's one thing we're going to have to be really, really worried about. But this race I'm extremely excited about as a fan of NASCAR again. I know a lot of people were really, really skeptical and thought the race was stupid last year. I thought the race was really, really good and a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. And with them having it at night, it makes a lot of sense. Dirt races tend, unless they're inside a bowl like the Chili Bowl is. NASCAR races generally do not happen in the day. Not NASCAR races. Dirt races generally don't happen in the day. They generally happen at night because of dust situations. So I'm really looking forward to this race next year. It's going to be a race I'm really, really excited about. And this is number 5 on my list. In the number 4 position, we have the Bristol Night Race, the cutoff race of the round of 16. The Bristol Night Race is always a race I look forward to. I have not seen a bad Bristol race in such a long time. And the 2021 Bristol Night Race I thought was the best race of the 2021 season. When I did my ranking video, I thought it was the best race. Because he has so many intriguing stories, so many drivers that contend in this race. Guys like Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick. You have William Byron, Alex Bowman up there at points. You have Bubba Wallace, who got a top 15 in this race. This race generally puts on a really, really good show at Bristol. And I think ever since they had the PJ1 compound, which I think is one of the only few tracks that the track really works with the PJ1 grip, I think that this race is going to be very, very good in 2022. I really love the Bristol Night Race. I think it's a good feel. I wish the IndyCar Championship was during this week, because I think it make a lot of sense. But at the same time, I really, really am excited about the Bristol Night Race in 2022. And I may be out there. You never know. I've got some plans for next year. Who knows if I'm going to be there next year. But this race is number 4 on my list, and I think it'll be a good race in 2022. In the number 3 position, and I know that this is going to be a little bit biased for a couple reasons, but I am going to put Worldwide Technology Raceway in the number 3 position. The reason I have Worldwide Technology Raceway in number 3 is, one, the St. Louis area is finally getting a NASCAR Cup Series race. We have been begging for so long to have a NASCAR Cup Series race. Another reason, they're going to have the higher horsepower package, which I think is going to be better race than the 550 horsepower package. So we've not seen the 550 horsepower package with the next-gen car. We've not seen a race with that specific car at this given moment. So we really don't know. But at least we're going to get the higher horsepower package for Gateway. Another big reason is I'm actually going to be out there at Worldwide Technology Raceway. I've been wanting to go to NASCAR Cup Series race for a long time. And when they announced that, I was really, really excited about that. And when they basically got revealed by Adam Stern, I was very, very excited to hear that. And like I said, I'm going to be out of Gateway next year for the Cup Series. I may be out for the Truck Series. I don't know yet, but I will be out for the Cup Series race at Gateway. And this is a race I'm really looking forward to. Plus, like I said, it's a race with a higher horsepower package. And I think the racing will be a lot better. And hopefully Kyle Larson can dominate that race. But that is number 3 on my list at Worldwide Technology Raceway. In the number 2 position, We have the LA Clash, the Busch Light LA Clash at the Coliseum, the LA Coliseum race for the reason to kick off. This race has a lot of people very, very skeptical, but I'm going to tell you something. I am extremely excited for this race. One, it's an exhibition race. Who really cares at this point? I have really been looking for, when they announced that this is going to be a thing, I was a little skeptical about it, but I was also very excited. One, we're getting into the LA market right now. Another reason, another short track. People have been begging for short tracks on the NASCAR schedule in any series. It doesn't really matter. People have been begging for short tracks on the racing schedule. And this is another one that is going to be a short track. And plus, like I said, we're going into the LA market in a legendary area. Now, unfortunately, the main race is not going to be on FS1. The qualifiers, I don't understand why the qualifiers are on main Fox, and then the main race on FS1. I don't understand that. I think they should have put the main race and the qualifiers on the same network, or should put the qualifiers on FS1 and put the main race on Fox. But at the same time, I am really looking forward to this race at the LA Coliseum. I think the racing is going to overall be really, really good and really, really solid. And I think we're going to see a really good race too. Again, we haven't seen the next car race, and we're going to see a lot of beating banging. It's going to be like we're racing at Bowman Gray Stadium, which that track does always at some points put on really good racing as well. So the LA Coliseum sits number 2 on my list, and I'm really looking forward to it. In the number 1 position, we have the 2022 Daytona 500. I know that Daytona 500 is always going to be number 1 on my list. Number 1, it's going to kick off the regular season on February 20th, which is always a way to kick off season is a Daytona 500. Number 2, generally, except last year's Daytona 500, I thought the Daytona 500 for a lot of these especially have been really, really good. Even the 2015 Daytona 500 in a not so good and really disappointing season, I thought that that was a really, really good Daytona 500. And again, a lot of these races have turned into wreckfest, but at the same time, I thought the Daytona 500 is always a special race to me. It's a race that kicks off the season. There's a lot of intrigue, and it's a race that can bring a lot of fans in that you never really know who are going to show up. It's like NASCAR's big Super Bowl moment. So that is number 1 on my list. I'm really also looking forward to Daytona 500 next year to kick off the season, which, by the way, is only 90 days away. So I'm really excited about that, and that sits number 1 on my list. Now I'm going to tell you some honorable mentions of races that I am looking forward to going into 2022. One race I'm looking forward to is the New Hampshire NASCAR Cup Series race. That race I thought was really, really good. I think the track is one of the most underrated tracks, and a track that gets a lot of hate for no reason whatsoever. I think the race will be very, very good next year. I'm really looking forward to that. The truck race at Sonoma. Trucks are going back to Sonoma for the first time, I believe, since 1997 or 1998. I think the last time they ran there is when Boris said won. So it's been quite a few years since the NASCAR Camp Truck Series has raced there. But they're coming back there next year at Sonoma. It's very, very exciting. They're also going to have the extended practice qualifying, which I think is going to be really, really fun. Another race I am looking forward to going into next year, of course, is once again trying out, one next race is the Charlotte Roval. Charlotte Roval races are always exciting. Always intriguing, great racing. Races not sucked any year. I think that we've had 4 really good races at the Charlotte Roval, so that's another race I'm looking forward to going into next year. And in general, I'm just excited. I'm also nervous about next year with the new car, but I am extremely excited for next year, and I'm ready to get started with the 2022 season. So, anyway, that is it for today's NASCAR video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notification on so you're notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Link description below for that, and comment below your thoughts on today's video. What are your top 10 races that you're looking forward to going into the 2022 season? Let me know that in the comments below. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great and awesome NASCAR content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.